Great. So before we start, I'll just quickly introduce myself. I'm not going to bore you guys about my introduction. My name is Harshad Gupta. I am one of the co-founder of this company called NSDM India. We are a online education company. We are a 4-year-old company, and I am a growth marketing trainer at NSDM. I've been running this growth marketing series since a couple of months now, wherein I invite people from industry because growth marketing is the next step every digital marketing every digital marketer aspire to become. So and there's a huge lack of awareness about this topic. In fact, a lot of misconception that we are going to clear today. So I'm hosting this webinar series wherein I invite people. So basically, Sindhu is a part of the series. Earlier, I had invited Rohan Chaube, who's again one of the India's most followed growth hacker. You can check those videos on YouTube. Then previously, we had done a couple of sessions with Prathamesh, who's a behavioral strategist who takes care of growth marketing of a video SaaS company. And now we have Sindhu. So yeah, we've been basically training students in few certain skills. The current programs that we run that is completely online is digital marketing, data science, growth hacking, and AI for marketing. Growth hacking and AI for marketing are the two subjects or the two skill sets. We are the one to introduce that in India. Nobody else has introduced these subjects in India. So me and my partner Arpit, co-founder Arpit, he's got his own YouTube channel, and he speaks about AI for marketing, and I talk about growth at different events. So yeah, that is about me. Now I would like Sindhu to kind of tell us about himself and how did he started his career in digital marketing, and then eventually moved to growth marketing, and now a senior growth marketer. So yeah, Sindhu, over to you. Can you just tell us about yourself, your career journey?
Sure, sure. Thanks, Harshit, first of all, for bringing me here and introducing me to a bunch of damn interesting students and everyone who is over here. And thank you so much, everyone. It's actually a bold move. 7:30 on a Friday, learning something very new. I'll try to keep my journey very crisp so that everyone can basically understand. So back then, when I was doing my MBA, I did my BBA and then my MBA. I come from a small city called as Cuttack. I did everything there. Then I moved to Noida to do my MBA. No one had heard about growth like in India that time. And digital marketing by default was also a very new subject that time. I had no idea when I joined my MBA that I will do digital marketing. I always knew that I will do something around marketing. So I passed out, and then I kind of was a founding member of a social networking app that time, which was interestingly backed by Facebook Start, NASCOM, and everyone. So major of my learnings at the start of my career was into entrepreneurship. I was a generalist. I want to focus on this particular word, generalist, because you will know why generalism is very, very important in growth, and why entrepreneurship is the basic guideline in a growth structure. So around 1 year I did that. I thought that no, I should be a specialist for 1 year. That's why I quit my company and I joined Insider.in, which now is called as Paytm Insider. It is Paytm's company. And I was handling digital marketing, hardcore performance marketing for the movies that you see on Paytm's app and the events that you see on Insider.in's app. I was handling marketing for both of them. Learned a lot there. Then I saw that okay, video is growing a lot, and I had never heard about growth as a team, as a subject, or as a term. Then Pocket Aces co-founder, I met him, and we decided to build a growth team internally. And that's how I joined Pocket Aces, which is the parent company of Filter Copy, Dice Media, Gobble, Loco, and a bunch of new channels we are creating. I am a senior growth marketer here. We are just two people in the growth team. By the way, growth team is always lean. Never expect 20 members in a growth team. We work at a structure in very simplified terms. My job is to promote web series. You may have seen Little Things Happen on Netflix, or you may have seen adulting on YouTube or something. So I promote the web series, and I promote filter copy videos to make it viral. Now, how this happens and how the whole virality concept works, that's why you are here. And I will try my best to demystify all the things that you hear about growth marketing, and I'll try to tell you about how virality works.
Thank you so much, Sindhu. So, guys, I'll just tell you the format, how it is going to be. I'm going to ask a few questions to Sindhu about growth marketing or growth hacking, right? We'll do a very quick chit chat about, or cool conversation about what exactly growth marketing is, and then we will move to the core topic of this webinar, that is how to growth hack virality, wherein Sindhu is going to talk about what kind of work he's done, right? And his strategies that you can also implement. So it's going to be a mix of concepts and concrete subject that you will learn. All right. So yeah, it's going to be a 1 hour power session. So brace yourself, guys. All right. So Sindhu, since a lot of people in India are not pretty much aware about, and in fact confused about what exactly is growth marketing or growth hacking. So would you like to kind of tell your opinion about what do you understand about growth marketing or growth hacking? Is growth hacking is actually a thing, or is it the right approach? Yeah.
Sure. So let me try to make it very simple. You may come across a lot of articles and a lot of people talking about this stuff in very simplified terms. There was always marketing, and marketing means that you have marketing budgets. In traditional companies, you used to have 1 lakh per month marketing budget to a crore per month, depending on the companies you are. But what happened is in the Western world, you started seeing that a lot of small scale startups started growing up, 5-member team, 3-member team. Now they don't have that much amount of budgets, but they want to fight with the biggies. That's why there is a guy called Sean Ellis who coined this term growth hacking when he was working with Dropbox. And if you have never heard about Dropbox growth hacking concept, they are kind of you can create them to bring referral marketing into the app world, where you see where you see if you refer an app to 5 people, you get some reward. That whole concept of that was kind of a growth hack that these people developed, and that's how this term came into place. In very concrete simplified terms, growth hacking or marketing or whatever you call is by default mean to find out ways to reduce your cost of marketing and to achieve higher results as a normal marketing campaign would give you. How to do that are the unconventional concepts where you do not follow the legit concept of marketing. Like for an example, if something is coming out, if your product launch is happening, or if you're launching a web series, traditional marketing or the film marketing, you will see people will put out billboards because you have money. People will take out cinema hall ads and something like that. Now, growth hacking just tells you that to have the same effect, but in a lot of cost cutting and a different kind of a mentality way. And that's where the growth comes into place. It has it is not just restricted to marketing. You can adapt product hacks, you can adapt copywriting hacks, you can adapt social media hacks, you can adapt any hacks. So it is not just restricted to one particular stream of marketing. It can be anything.
Thank you. Awesome, Sindhu. I'm sorry. So we've got a pretty much idea about what exactly growth hacking is, and but I also want to kind of ask you that a lot of people on LinkedIn, they put their title as I'm a growth hacker. A lot of people who are doing digital marketing, they position themselves as a growth hacker.
Right.
So we all know that. So just to put some light on this, guys, Sean Ellis introduced growth hacking, but it was actually challenged by a lot of companies in Western world, and nobody likes to actually in the Silicon Valley like to call themselves as a growth hacker.
Right.
It's a very wannabe word that people take. So this is one of the insights that you should take. Don't start putting your LinkedIn titles as growth hacker after attending this webinar. So just making this clear pretty much early. So what is the right approach? Because growth hacking is, people are very obsessed with hacks. They see that uh, what are we going to do, the pretty much lone wolf approach, that I'm going to copy some hacks, or I'm going to put some magic on my business. I'm going to spread some tactics, tips and tricks, hacks, and I'm going to grow that business. So this
Right.
is what growth hacking, a kind of approach that people love about. So is this a right approach, and how exactly is it actually implemented in the corporate world, in the industry, wherein you or people working in fintech companies, or in our industry, how do
Right.
they actually, what is their approach in when you talk about approach towards growing a business, or handling the growth team or growth function?
Right, right. Great. Let me divide these questions into two parts. One is an executional front as a growth marketer or as a hacker or whatever you call. And the second thing is how corporatization happens in this thing. Like, is there a particular team called growth? And is there, if that is the team, then how is it formed? Let me just divide that into two parts. The first part, which is the executional front, growth is always an experimentational culture. That's it. That's the biggest that's the keyword that you should be keeping in your mind. It means experimentation culture. By experimentation culture, it also means the number of failures that you can have, which means, let's say you are working in a traditional marketing team. Then what happens is there is a boss where there are five people who are reporting to him or her, let's say. Now everyone has an idea. You have a campaign idea, you go ahead and pitch to him. He evaluates the whole campaign idea, and it's the timeline from the campaign ideation to the execution is so long, just because those companies have a luxury of well funds. That's why they can stay for that long. Startups come fast, go fast, hence they do not have the luxury to stay for a long time. Hence you need to squeeze that time, which is the ideation and execution. That's where the concept of fast experimentation comes into place, where growth marketeers or hackers have the power. Like, if they have an idea, they will quickly pull out 100 rupees or a 200 rupees. They will quickly test those ads. They will quickly churn out results, prepare a doc where you write your inferences, and then go ahead and challenge your boss saying that, hey, my hypothesis actually is correct. Let me go and scale this up. That is the basic difference between a traditional marketing and a growth culture as per se. So that's the basic thing. Like, if you work in any old school company, 100 rupees campaign is not really a culture. Like, you cannot put 100 rupees thing or something like that unless and until they have that growth plus thing. Now, coming to the corporate world, how it happens in India, let me portray a reality picture. As Harshit said, never go and write a growth hacker. You cannot be a growth hacker in just one session. Even if you take all those Udemy classes and all these things, you can get a certificate. But those certificate, like, if you complete 4 years in engineering, you are an engineer. There is a certificate to prove that. But unless and until you work in a legit company, you cannot call yourself a growth hacker. A company tells you that, hey, you are or not. Now, you can be a freelancer. That's a whole different conversation altogether. In India, you will never see a company given a designation called as growth hacker. Any legit company you see, they will never term it as a growth hacker. The reason being, there is a very by default wrong mentality that if anyone is using a designation as a hacker, it's very negative connotation that people give. That's why you will see a not. That's why you will see a lot of people writing ethical hacking, but that is a very jari jargon wala game that you should not follow. In companies, what happened, there is a growth team. Now what they have done is there is a growth team who is technically not under a marketing team. I'm telling you a general picture of what happens in India. Majority of the companies growth teams are very separate. They directly reports to the founders or the CEOs. Reason being, growth teams cannot function if you have multi-level hierarchies, because approval लेने में ही आपके बहुत time चले जाएंगे. As I told you, experimentation needs to be fast. You have an idea, you have to execute that day. If it is not happening, then it is very difficult. Hence, how it is formed in a company is you have a growth team. In that team, there is a product guy, there is a coder, there is a marketer, there is a designer, and there is a copywriter. Those are independent. Like, that designer has got nothing to do with company's designs or something like that. That team is very independent. They function in a very independent way, and they have actually immense powers. Now, what happens is that team can challenge monetization also for a finance department. Let's say you are a fintech company and you have subscription models. There are 3 subscription models. Growth team can challenge the finance team or the strategy team.
Just tell them a couple of examples of what fintech companies, because a lot of people are undergraduates.
Sure. So fintech is, in a very basic form, is finance plus technology, as the name suggests. The best example I can give you is a Cred, an app, or a Grow, GROWW, a mutual fund,
Paytm as well,
or Paytm as well. You can say. So any company or any app you are using, it could be a UPI, like a Google Pay or something, or it could be a stock mutual funds management company or anything, is a fintech company, or a Cred who is managing your credits. Now what happens is, for an example, I'm just giving fintech as an example because, as I mean, you can relate, I think. So let's say there are 3 subscription models. Okay, generic example, Netflix. Netflix has 3 subscription model. One is a mobile model, one is your multi-screen model on laptop, and another thing I don't know, I don't remember. That model structure is actually created by the strategy team or the founders office team. There is a team called founders office or something like that. Now, growth team can actually go and challenge that team, that's saying, hey, I see that there are loopholes inside this. Hence, these are our recommendations. Generally, what happens, only growth team has those powers to challenge any team. It could be content team, it could be design team, it could be any team with data. But you will see generally in a company, a product team never pokes a marketing team, or a marketing team generally never pokes a copywriting team or a content team or a strategy team or something like that. So growth team, that's why, is very, very independent, because they have the liberty to have a wide angle view and look at everything. So that pretty much explains my role as well. I can suggest content strategy. I can suggest, if we want to open a new channel on YouTube, I can suggest recommendations why we should not invest in Snapchat. So yeah, that's what the role looks like in India, and that's how the structure is. Now, one thing I just want you to keep inside mind is, when I give you this whole story, it may look very lucrative to you, because it sounds like, okay, I have this superpower in my company, I can do anything. But trust me, it's very difficult, because remember, growth teams are always lean. So if you by default are not an entrepreneur, you don't have an entrepreneur mindset, you cannot sustain in a growth team. It's a lot of work, by the way. It's not a 9 to 5 job, just saying. So yeah.
Yeah, I think pretty clean and smooth explanations, Sindhu. Great. So guys, people who are asking questions, we have a different Q&A round. So hold on to your questions, because we want to complete this in a quick 1 hour, and then we'll move to the Q&A part. All right. So hold your questions, or basically, if you want to ask, I will give you time to ask questions. Right. My next question to you, Sindhu, is what do you think about the demand of growth marketers in India? I mean, we've seen that, and you can also tell us about what is happening in the Western world. In Silicon Valley, we already know that small startups, they're basically having this growth marketing profile or head of growth profiles
Right.
emerging, which is one of the most amazing profiles that anybody can think of.
Right.
But I think digital is of course growing in India, and people are still in the stage of learning digital marketing, doing digital marketing correctly. They are still in that stage. So I think, do you think growth marketing is a very, very futuristic stuff, or it is being adopting at least by the companies which are high growth companies, or very, very valued companies, especially in cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, and Pune?
Right. So let me try to keep it as actionable as I can. So first of all, growth is a very metro-ish term. If you are from a small town and you want to stay for a longer time, growth roles are not for you, because generally by default the supply and the demand is very, very less in those cities. Now in India, what happens is, Bangalore is having maximum growth roles, you will always find, followed by Mumbai, followed by Delhi, then followed by Hyderabad, and then other. Kolkata, I have not really seen very good
Pune
companies.
also. Even
Pune
Pune,
also.
people have started.
Yeah. So now what has happened is, the demand is increasing. Like, people from digital marketing world want to go into this world. But what has also happened is on the supply side, you will see a lot of vagueness in the job description if the companies have not understood the growth roles. So always try to understand, do not go after the job role, but see the job description. Like for an example, most of the job roles, job description, if you start looking at a LinkedIn growth, marketing or hacking roles, those look like they want very generalist people, and those some of them look like that they want some superheroes or super ninjas. They want you to do monetization, app acquisition, marketing, content writing, designing, like मुझे ही founder बना दो पूरा सीधा का सीधा. So don't fall into that trap. Always see the descriptions, what is happening in India. Yes, it is growing, but the scale is pretty limited. There are two kind of growth roles in India. Generally, you will see one is a product growth role where you are a product marketer who wants to be a growth guy, and one is a digital marketing growth role where you are a performance marketer and you want to be into a growth role. That is first. Second thing, you cannot go into growth if you don't have an experience. Like someone who is an intern, there is nothing called as growth internship. If there is a company which is having growth internship, that is very, very rare. I really don't know how they have projected the whole trajectory plan of that role. I have no understanding around that, because by default, as I told you, you need to have past experience of multiple roles like copywriting or marketing to shift into a growth role, because that's a generalist role. That's not like you cannot expect doing just paid ads all day. You need to have other skills as well. The yes, it is growing. Bangalore's being the majority of stuff. In the Western world, it is very, very advanced. In Western world, they are growing at a different speed. In India, we are growing at a very slow speed. And I believe the reason is in India, we still have to adapt digital marketing first. Growth is still one step ahead. We have still not understood the digital marketing world a lot. Like you will see in some companies, there is a concept of acquisition marketing as different, retention marketing is different. In some companies, I have seen that. In some companies, I have seen just performance marketers as just one entity who is having both of the stuff. So it's still in a process. If you really, my only suggestion will be, it's hard work obviously, but there is a lot of luck that happened to me where I got a role where it is from a good company. Before going into that, I read a lot about these people like Andrew Chen, Sean Ellis, and how the Western world is happening. What I would suggest is, if you're really, really interested, Google search. If you have not done enough Google search, just don't jump into it.
So yeah, correct. So you need to have previous knowledge about at least marketing. Otherwise, I think Sindhu, we've also worked on that skill set, and we've created something called T-shaped marketer. I think that's what is the right framework. Absolutely. So there are 19 plus skills a growth marketer needs to have. You have the base layer, wherein you need to know the basics of behavioral science, and you have this HTML, CSS, a bit of coding, and then you have this digital marketing skills and a growth mindset. So do you think a digital marketer with a growth mindset can actually deliver better results compared to normal marketers or a traditional marketer?
100%. Generally, growth is more a digital role. So if a digital marketer has cleared all the concepts, then they can quickly shift versus any traditional marketer shifting, because traditional marketer will first adapt digital, then will adapt growth. So it's a two-way process versus digital going just fast.
Awesome. I think that's something that clears our basics of growth marketing. Are there any questions, guys, that you want to ask quickly? Like, we can take a couple of questions, and then Sindhu can move to his.
Yeah. I think before moving towards the thing, if you have anything around structures, around careers or something, just ask right now. But only around careers and everything. Let's not specific questions. So how should one start growth hacking from if someone is in marketing department currently and wishes to do growth hack company?
I'll probably take that. Just okay. So we'll talk about that at the end, wherein Sindhu will talk about the program that I told you. So there are ways. At the end of the session, I am going to tell you that what are the 19 skills, what is the right way, what are the 4 or 5 things that you need to. I mean, yes, reading is one of them. but of course there is something called self learning, and then there's something called, if you get a catalyst kind of a mentor or a community approach learning, wherein you can interact with growth marketing folks, I think that will fasten their learning. What do you say, Sindhu?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you make okay somebody wants to know, how do you make videos viral?
Yeah, we'll come to that very soon.
Blogging. Priyanka is asking about blogging. So I would probably ask everyone to stick to the topic. If you have general questions, guys, we will be taking that in the end of the webinar. Because if we start blogging, then we can talk social media, SEO, email marketing, a lot of other topics.
Like I think I'll take this question, which is what kind of trajectory does one have in growth hacking? Okay. So just keeping it crisp, as I told you, you need to have experience. If you have a digital marketing experience of at least a 2 years role, then the only thing is you have only two options. One is you start learning growth hacking from online, doing self learning, or as Harshit told you that he will be guiding. So you need guidance, actually, to be honest. It is not something that you can do, and then you can decide either to be a freelancer or to be into a company. Generally, if you are a freelancer, it's very difficult to tell your client that, hey, I'm a growth hacker, so give me job. Because really, honestly, in India, a lot of clients do not understand growth hacking because they are still learning digital marketing. So if you're a freelancer and you think you want to go into freelancing, then it's very difficult. Okay, that also answers, I guess, Suman's question, which is what is the future of freelance growth hacking? It's very slow right now. I'll be honest. You will make more money if you are into digital marketing freelancing roles versus a growth hacking role. That's a reality. Don't want to paint a wrong picture.
But if you get a dream role, let's say 2 years down the line, like Sindhu, then I think that's something magic, right? That's something.
Absolutely.
That's something that even I would like to aspire to become. So right now, guys, I think you guys should focus on at least getting the basics of what exactly growth hacking is, growth marketing is, and then so I'll be talking about that. We've collaborated with high growth startups. So work with startups. That's the key, right? Don't work with slow companies, right? Don't work with companies which are traditional in approach.
Exactly. Yes, Jarul, I can speak Hindi too.
Yeah, so I think we'll start. Sindhu, you can start with your presentation.
Okay, sure. Are you presenting the screen, or I shall present it?
You can take it forward. I think you can. Okay, I've made you the co-host. You have all the rights to.
Great. Okay, all right. Guys, I would need your permission to go ahead. This is gonna be, this will be very information rich. Please have a notepad or a copy and a pen with you, because I may throw a little bit of jargons so that you can go ahead and do your Google search later on. If now we are good to go, just tell me yes, and I will proceed. Just write yes if you're ready. Perfect. I take that as a yes. Hey guys, hi. I'm repeating myself. My name is Sindhu Biswal. I'm a senior growth marketer at Pocket Aces. And the topic we are gonna talk about for next 20 minutes, 30 minutes before choosing to another topic is what creates video virality. Now, a few things that I'm trying to say. Just try to understand. Be with me. Keep your questions for later. What is virality? In very easy, simple terms, virality is shareability factor or shares. When let's say let's go back 10 years. Let's go 10 years back for an example. अगर आपके मोहल्ले में कुछ something happened to your neighbor, then the other neighbor came to know because someone shared to that neighbor. That shared medium was mouth to ear. Someone goes and tells to that person, and then that person goes and tells to that other person, and that's how the neighborhood virality stuff was happening. Now in the digital is what has happened is social media has allowed by giving a button called as share. Now generally in most of the social media platforms, you will see the share button is available in some or the other way. Like on Facebook, you have a direct share button. On YouTube, we have a share button, cross share button. Like you cannot share inside YouTube, but you can share it on your WhatsApp or on LinkedIn or anywhere else. On Instagram, you have share it to your story or share it to someone's DM. Now, this is actually the basics of shares. Now, something to become viral, you need very, very high number of shares or shareability factor. By the way, shares do not happen on the go. और ऐसा नहीं है कि shares होता है अपने आप ही नहीं होता है. There are shareability factors inside a video. We are only sticking towards video. The same concept actually also applies to an image content as well. The factors that we're talking about which evokes sharing mechanism inside a human being, these are some emotions. I'll be talking one by one about these emotions. The biggest emotion that generally all the viral companies in India, you take Filter Copy, you take All India Show, which used to be there, or you take Scoop, is relatability factor. You create a content which is relatable to certain kind of a community. That community could be anyone. Or you create a content about certain kind of life moment which evokes nostalgia inside you, that is supposed to go viral. The reason being that the inside emotion which is evoked, that hey, I think this happened to me, hence let me share it. So you see honest weddings, the relatability factor is people who are married, they can understand this emotion. Every school romance, it has a lot of emotions which are evoking the first romance you had in your school. Type of couples is evoking the number of the different type of couples you see in your society or in your life. That's why it's relatable, and hence it gets more and more shares. And by the way, the person who asked Filter Copy success, it's actually relatability. Open Filter Copy's Instagram channel or YouTube channel. Most of the videos we make, you will see they are relatable to you or some part of your life. The second biggest emotion that evokes sharing emotion is called something called as emotional. Now emotional could be any emotion. It could be a happy emotion. It could be nostalgia. It could be sad. It could be anything, but not dry. Generally, all the advertisements you see of Google, the latest Google ads, or the recent ad you see of Nike, which got viral, it evokes a certain kind of emotion and makes you emotional. That's why you stick inside the video, and hence you share. That's the basic. And these are the two basic understanding. The right hand side is a Cadbury ad, which got very famous. I guess they uploaded on January. I don't remember the date. But generally, if you start thinking, what are the videos that you have shared? Those videos are emotional. That's why you will see a lot of people share cute cat videos or cute dog videos, because that video make them emotional. The third biggest biggest emotion that evokes shareability culture is called inspirational. Now I'm not talking about those good morning messages that you get inside a WhatsApp. Those could not be inspirational for you. But generally, you will see that if a content motivates you, that content is supposed to get more and more shares. And the reason behind it, the micro sentiment behind it is, if something has motivated you in the morning, people share that with someone else, because they think that, hey, if I'm motivated, then maybe someone else is motivated as well. That is first underlying emotion. The second emotion why people share motivational content or inspirational content is basically to project themselves in a certain way. Like, for an example, some people want others to project themselves as a nerdy character. Some people think that, hey, मैं history के बारे में ज़्यादा share करूँगा on my Facebook, so that other people start thinking that I am very much interested in history. That is also a kind of sharing mechanism. You can do a small experiment also. Just go back to your Facebook timeline and see what are the type of content you share. That will tell you about your persona as well, that which kind of content you are sharing. And then do one thing, take a 15 minutes break and ask yourself, what is that particular thing that evoked that the share clicking inside you. Generally, you will see that at least ये तीन के emotion के अंदर fit आ रहा होगा. At least ये तीन के बीच में emotion में fit आ रहा होगा. And the last thing, the last emotion behind someone to share something is educational, which is very big. Now, educational का मतलब जरूरी नहीं है that it should be something which is very, very geeky around someone telling you edtech के बारे में or something. It could be anything around education. It could be about some video which tells you how environment pollution is happening. Now that is also education for you. Or it could be very, very geeky. Or it could be into as simple as Maggie 2 minute में क्यों नहीं बन सकती, or something like that. All the food videos that you see are also educational because they share recipe. So that is education for you if you are into cooking. Now what happens here in the educational thing is education is generally for a certain community. Like on the right hand side, you see a guy called as Neil Patel, who is very, very famous in the digital marketing world. Now only digital marketing world will understand Neil Patel because he's sharing something. There are so these are micro communities or niche communities that I'm talking about. Now before creating also education, you first need to understand किसके लिए कंटेंट बना रहे हो. सिंपल. अगर आप डॉक्टर्स के लिए कंटेंट बना रहे हो, then your educational content will be around doctors and not around patients. If patients के लिए कर रहे हो, then it will be around patients. So that needs to be designed first before you go ahead and plan your content strategy or something. Now these are basic emotions that evoke something inside you. You can create as many patterns you want inside this, and यही pattern के ऊपर maximum viral content that you see on Facebook or Instagram इसी के around चलते हैं. Generally इसके बाहर कुछ भी नहीं होता है. Now if you have understood this, let's go a little further into an advanced level. Let's talk about some metrics. Let's talk about some mathematical kind of thing. Metrics that matters. Very basic metric. इसको थोड़ा demystify करता हूँ, which is views. All the social networking platforms or all the social media apps you will see have got views as the primary metric जो सबको दिखता है. कोई भी प्लेटफॉर्म ले लो, आपको सबसे पहले व्यू ही दिखेगा, उसके बाद बाकी सब चीजें दिखते हैं, like the number of comments or the number of likes you see. YouTube में सबसे पहले तो व्यू ही दिखता है, उसके बाद दिखता है बाकी सब चीजें. The reason being, generally there is a bandwagon effect which happens here. The percentage or the probability for watching a 1 million video is very, very high versus the probability of watching a 1000 viewed video. Reason being, आपके दिमाग में क्या चलता है, यार 1000 है मतलब शायद इसमें कुछ दम नहीं होगा. That's the basic thing. You have not seen the content. Maybe that content is pretty much better than the 1 lakh or the 1 million wala content. What happens is how this view is counted. Let's talk about it. Let me do a basic polling to understand. Guys, can you tell me Facebook पे कितना मिनट तक या कितना सेकंड तक, if you watch a video that counts as one view, can you tell me the random numbers? Please throw it in the chat. 15 seconds, okay. Also write minutes or seconds so that I know. Interesting. So maximum people I see here have talked about 5 second plus or a 10 second plus. Let me demystify something. It's 3 second. Facebook or Instagram, if you watch a video for 3 seconds, it is counted as one view. Not full video, not 10 seconds, not 30 seconds, not 20 seconds. It's just 3 seconds. Period. That's it. Now, every platform has their own logic. For a YouTube, it's not 3 seconds, it's 30 seconds. Now, they have even more complex mechanisms. If you really want to understand, you can just go and do a Google search, how YouTube counts views, so that you have more and more clarity. But just telling you, every platform is designed in a different way. TikTok had 2 seconds. LinkedIn is 2 seconds as well. Yeah. So just letting you know that every platform has a different way of counting these numbers. And then you may argue that why it is 3 seconds, autoplay karte 3 seconds chala jayega. I will not get into that debate. That is up to you to have. So the views is the basic metric to understand how viral is the video. Someone with 10 million matlab zyada viral hai. Someone with 10,000 matlab kam viral hai, right? Now the secondary metric, which any marketer or any growth guy or anyone or any content creator, even if you are a YouTuber, checks is something called as video retention. सबसे important metric, the most important metric. 3 सेकंड तक आपने वीडियो देखा, एक व्यू काउंट हो गया, but the video is let's say 20 minutes. Now you may have 1 million, बट मे बी आपके दिमाग में चल रहा है यार आई रियली वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड आउट ऑफ दोस 1 million how many people watched till the end, because that will define the stickiness of your content. For an example, some people may claim if I go to watch a Salman Khan movie, I do not stay till the end. But usko to paisa to mil gaya. Now they got blockbuster hit. But is it relevant? Kya log pura ka pura tikke? Maybe people dropped off. You never know. The good thing in the digital age is you can see this video retention. Generally, the graph looks like this. This is a screenshot of a Facebook's backend creator studio graph. How it shows the same graph you can see on any platform. चाहे आपका खुद का भी ऐप हो, आप generally ऐसे click करोगे. What happens is आपको जो slope दिख रहा है ना, ये slope जितना धीरे-धीरे गिरेगा against the gravity, that means it is better retained video. That means आपका content better है. Retention क्या बताता है आपको? Retention बताता है कि आपका video boring है या नहीं. Simple. People did not stay till the end means आपका video बहुत boring है. Maybe you have got 1 million, but only 50,000 people stayed till the end, which means you're a bad content creator. That's it. You may are viral. That doesn't mean that you are not viral, but that means you're a bad content creator. Always what we do is we see average video completion rate. Means if 1,000 people watched for a 3 second, out of which how many people stayed till the end, out of which how many people stayed till the 75%, 50%, 30%. Drop offs देखना है बीच में, and that will tell me कि कहाँ पे लोग drop off हो रहे हैं, and that will also give me few insights कि लोग drop off क्यों ले रहे हैं. थोड़ा आगे उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Okay, before moving to the other topic, मैं अभी बोल ही देता हूँ. By the way, how do you understand कि लोग drop off क्यों हो रहे हैं? One tip I will give you to understand that. What happens in a video is generally some people watch a video till 3 seconds to a 10 second and they make a decision. जैसे आप बाजार में जाते हो and you see दूर से कि विंडो में क्या क्या लगा हुआ है, and then you decide कि मुझे ये चिप्स लेना है या वो चिप्स लेना है. But before even your hand reaching to that chips, आप पहले visual देखते हो. Generally, how does your mind work? जिसका visual अच्छा है या जो जिसके कंटेंट अच्छे हैं या जो मुझे बाहर से अच्छा लग रहा है, मैं वो पकड़ूंगी या मैं वो पकड़ूंगा. सेम थिंग, जिसका 10 सेकंड्स बहुत बेटर है, जिसका 10 सेकंड बहुत ज्यादा स्टिकी है, लोग ज्यादा मूव करेंगे आगे लेके. Now what happens is, for an example, someone is skipping in between. Now some people skip also. तो आपके ग्राफ में आप देखना ड्रॉप दिखेगा. So your graph moves like this straight, skip मारा drop होगा, move straight, skip मारा drop होगा. Wherever you see drop, click on that. वीडियो पे जाके चेक करो कि वीडियो पे कौन सा ऐसा सीन था कि वो स्किप किया. लोग स्किप क्यों करते हैं मैं बोल देता हूँ. जनरली व्हाट आई हैव सीन इन माय इनसाइट्स, वीडियो चल रहा है, आप लंबा सा टाइटल स्लेट चला रहे हो व्हिच इज दिस गाय प्रेजेंटिंग दिस एक्टिंग ये एक्टिंग वो, वहां पे लोग स्किप करते हैं. फर्स्ट. सेकंड, स्लोमो शॉट चल रहा है, चले जा रहा है 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, people skip because लोगों को ना प्रेडिक्शन हो जाता है. people have watched so many content on digital कि predictable content बन जाता है कि यार उसके बाद क्या होगा. That's why people keep on skipping. Or some people skip जब गाना आता है and the song is very bad, then people skip. There are multiple reasons to skip. Always see कि drop कहाँ पे आ रहा है, click it and see कि यहाँ पे लोग skip क्यों नहीं किए. That will give you many insights कि मैं next video में क्या गलत करूँगा. When I'm talking about videos, by the way, this also applies to your video ads. The same technique I follow in my performance marketing ads as well. I created, let's say, a 1 minute ka video ad. Normally what we do, we check CTRs, we check link clicks, landing page views, bounce rates, वहाँ पे जाके क्या हुआ. But we do not check कि generally हम क्या करते हैं, ads का link click check किया, we saw कि okay, the ad is performing great in terms of clicks. Then जाके देखा कि bounce rates बहुत ज़्यादा high है website पे. Then what we claim कि maybe targeting is wrong because we think is okay, maybe we have targeted the wrong guy. But we generally have not checked कि ad का retention graph क्या था. Maybe 3 सेकंड देख के लोग drop off कर गए because they thought that the ad is boring. Yet the ad is non-relevant. If you check वो पूरा का पूरा ad का graph, that will give you many insights कि maybe आपका ad का design ही गलत है. क्योंकि by default what we do as a marketer is हमें जो ad मिलता है 20 seconds, 1 minute पूरा का पूरा, we decide ourselves that वो ad ही बहुत सबसे best है. You never check कि creative अच्छा या नहीं है. Generally people don't check. So these rules also applies there, by the way. So now if we have understood about what we talked about the emotions, we talked about basic two metric. There are a lot of metrics, but these two are basic metric. Trust me, ये metrics master करना बहुत मुश्किल है. Retention is such a metric. No one can claim in the chat right now. Maybe एक साल आप काम करो. No one can claim. At least someone claims to me, then I'm ready to challenge. No one can claim I'm the master of retention. Retention is super hard to get. अगर retention में आप master बन गए, then you are the best marketer in the whole world. So understand a lot of retention, read a lot of stuff. There are a lot of materials available out there to understand retention and to understand emotions. The best part of virality or the basic crux of virality, जितना better behavioral economics is a subject or behavioral science subject को जितना अच्छे से master करोगे, the better viral campaigns you can create. Normal engineer turned marketer जो सिर्फ tool सीखा हुआ है, you cannot crack this game. चाहे आप जितना भी कोर्स ले लो, तो maybe you should start studying that. मैं ज़्यादा टाइम पढ़ता हूँ behavioral economics by the way. So if you have understood about the views and retention, let's go a little bit ahead towards the last topic of the last framework of this particular topic before we move to the second topic. And the topic is very simple, which is branded video marketing कैसे करनी है. Like for an example, if you have to sell a product, that product could be an app, that product could be a chips, that product could be a coffee or anything, and you want to leverage videos for it. Now everyone is talking about videos, that video के ads बनाओ, image के ads नहीं बनाओ, because video is the next thing and people लोगों का interaction video के साथ है. That's true actually. Video will give you CTRs plus 5%. मैंने देखा हुआ है plus 5%, plus 10% from a normal image ad. So videos work best. And this is a basic framework that I adapt. If you want, you can write. It's very simple. It's aware, adjust, acquire, attribute. The 4 A's of branded video marketing. इसका मैं simplify करता हूँ. इसको basically क्या हम करते हैं? Why did you make a video? A 20-second or a 30-second or a 1 minute? Because you wanted to aware people that hey, this is my product. पहले video देखो, फिर जाके product खरीदोगे या नहीं सोचो. That's it. What happens inside the image ad? Inside the image ad, कोई image देखेगा for only 3 seconds or 10 seconds max and then make a quick decision. Video is more elaborate, more educational, more emotional. It evokes something inside you. That's why someone goes and click to make a better decision. Hence, the first step is aware. So when you make a video, aware का metric क्या है? Aware का metric is your views only. That's it. 1 million views on your video ads. That means 1 million people are aware. Maybe an assumption before checking other metrics. Now what you do? You do adjustment. आपने देखा 1 million लोगों ने view किया. Check the video completion rate. If your video completion rate is very very less, that means आपने जिसको वीडियो दिखाया या तो वो खराब ऑडियंस आपने टारगेट किया हुआ है, मतलब that audience targeting is very wrong, or the video you created is wrong. Now you adjust. Maybe you have to cut that video, maybe you have to create a new video, maybe you have to adjust your ads. So you have to adjust after that. Once you do this adjustment, now here the growth marketing mentality comes into place. The first step, awareness का. ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे पास budget है 20,000 for the month, I will go all out with 20,000. No. Because I don't know the video is right or not, because I don't know the audience is right or not, I will take out 100 rupees, 500 rupees from that 20,000. I will do this. I will adjust that video जब तक मुझे maximum benefit नहीं मिलता है from that video. Once I get the maximum benefit on that video and I know that hey, this video is final for me, this copywriting is final for me, this audience targeting is final for me, my awareness and adjustment is done. मेरा 500 रुपए का experimentation था. I was talking about the experimentation culture, if you remember. This is how you implement. कर दिया मैंने. Now I am ready to scale from 500 to 20,000. Now what I do? I start acquiring people. इसके पहले हम जो कर रहे थे, that was not for acquisition. वो acquisition हो रहा था, but that was not for acquisition motive. That was just to test कि मेरा video सही है या नहीं है. Now what you do? You pump in all the money of that final video, that final hypothesis which got proven, and you start acquiring from that particular video. Now what happens is, let's say you are running multiple videos on multiple channels. Let's say you're running a YouTube ad at the same time, Google ad, Facebook ad, Instagram ad, and so and so. बहुत जगह पे चल रहा है, but let's say your landing page or your website is only one, multiple जगह से ट्रैफिक आ रहा है, now you have to start attributing कि कौन सा चैनल मेरे को ज्यादा पैसा दे रहा है और मेरे को ज्यादा बेनिफिट दे रहा है. Whichever channel is giving you the maximum benefit, you pause all the other campaigns, or you reduce other money on that campaigns, and you grow that particular channel. For an example, let's say Facebook is giving you more ROI and not Instagram. Instagram को कम कर दो, Facebook को बढ़ा दो. That's how this whole growth experiment, marketing culture, and everything works. If you have really understood the 4 emotions I was talking about, the first step that I want you to take away is before even creating an ad set on that ads manager or whatever, वो सबसे easy काम है. Ads create करना is the easiest job. Creating that video which you think can go viral by using all the emotions I talked about. Like, watch that video. वो video 100 लोगों को भेजो जो आपने ad बनाया, and ask them if they're not emotional, if they're not getting motivated, if they're not laughing, or if it is not relatable to them, then that means वो video नहीं चलेगा. आप जितना पैसा डाल दो उस पे, आपको वीडियो वायरल बनाना ही पड़ेगा उसके लिए. You will see a lot of branded videos getting more and more shares also. By the way, filter copy के टॉप 10 के लाइफ टाइम के टॉप 10 वीडियोस में से आराम से टॉप 3 to 5 वीडियोस आर ब्रांड कोलैबोरेशन वीडियोस. सो लेट मी जस्ट स्टेट इट आउट टू डीमिस्टिफाई कि ऐसा जो पुराना था ना कि एड अगर आता है वीडियो के बीच में लोग चिढ़ते हैं. नो, दैट मींस द मार्केटर और द कंटेंट क्रिएटर डिड नॉट डू हिज जॉब राइट. वीडियोस कैन बी very smoothly integrated inside, brand can be smoothly integrated inside a video as well if you are doing your job right. So those are the 4 A's of branded video marketing. Let me just recap the whole framework so that आपके दिमाग में आ जाए. The 4A growth framework that I'm talking about, using videos for customer acquisition. First thing, ये एक trick है, ये मैंने काफी जगह implement किया हुआ है. Try to understand this, try to visualize this. अगर it's making sense to you, if you have ever ran a Facebook campaign, तो आप समझ पाओगे. Upload a 2 to 3 minute video on social media, but those videos should evoke at least one emotion. अगर video एक भी emotion evoke नहीं कर रहा है, it's a dry video, वो video ही bullshit है. Do not upload that video, doesn't make any sense. Boost that video, not for traffic, not for anything, but for a post engagement campaign. Run a post engagement ad, क्योंकि आपको वीडियो में एंगेजमेंट चाहिए मैक्स टू मैक्स. ठीक है. ऑप्टिमाइज दैट वीडियो फॉर 3 मेट्रिक ओनली. वीडियो रिटेंशन दैट आई टॉक्ड अबाउट, कि लोग ज्यादा देखें. रिटेंशन गिर गया, वीडियो बंद करो, कोई और वीडियो बनाओ. कमेंट्स एंड शेयर्स, नॉट लाइक्स, नॉट रिएक्शंस, नॉट एनीथिंग. रीजन मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूं, एज आई टोल्ड यू, शेयर्स का मतलब वायरलिटी. लेट्स से आई प्रमोट अ वीडियो फॉर 5 रुपीज, 5 लोगों ने देखा, 5 लोगों ने लाइक किया, कुछ नहीं हुआ, उससे कुछ नहीं होगा. I promote that video for 5 rupees. 5 लोगों ने देखा, 3 लोगों ने शेयर किया, तो क्या हुआ, वो 3 लोगों के शेयर्स के ऑर्गेनिक ट्रैफिक मेरे को भी मिले. So that's why I'm focusing कि वीडियो को ऑप्टिमाइज फॉर शेयर्स करो, फॉर कमेंट्स एंड फॉर रिटेंशन एज वेल. Then after you do that, अभी क्या हुआ, you have a video that is uploaded on your channel or somewhere. That video is very very high in retention and it has got a lot of reach and everything. Create a custom audience with that particular audience का जो है, मतलब वहां पे जितने भी ऑडियंस इकट्ठे हुए हैं उसको लेके कस्टम ऑडियंस बनाओ. ऑडियंस दैट हैज वॉच्ड मोर देन 50% ऑफ द वीडियो. 50% क्यों? बिकॉज इन लोगों को रेलेवेंसी पता है आपके वीडियोस के बारे में, इन लोगों को कॉन्टेक्स्ट पता है व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू से. दे आर मोर एजुकेटेड देन द अंडर 50%. नाउ कम्स द मेन गोल इनटू प्ले. इफ यू हैव टू प्रमोट योर इवेंट, इफ यू हैव टू प्रमोट योर ऐप, वेबसाइट, ज्वेलरीज बेचना है, कुछ भी बेचना है, वो जो ऐप एक्विजिशन कैंपेन जो है और लैंडिंग पेज क्लिक कैंपेन जो है, उसको रीटारगेट करो वही कस्टम ऑडियंस को लेके. लेट मी रिपीट, यू क्रिएटेड वन वीडियो, अपलोडेड इट, बूस्टेड इट फॉर द पोस्ट एंगेजमेंट, क्रिएटेड अ कस्टम ऑडियंस विद 50% प्लस जिन लोगों ने पूरा का पूरा वीडियो देखा, एंड क्रिएटेड अनदर कैंपेन फॉर अ लिंक क्लिक टुवर्ड्स योर वेबसाइट or app installs or sales or anything, only retargeting to the other people. इसमें आप देखोगे maximum ROI आप में निकलेगा, maximum to maximum ROI निकलेगा. Versus doing the old traditional way कि directly मैं app install campaign चला रहा हूँ वीडियो लेके. उसमें क्या होता है कि उसमें बहुत सारे मतलब you will have a lot of negative मतलब you will have a lot of audiences जिनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उससे लेके, because आपने ना ही वीडियो को वायरल बनाया, ना ही आपने कुछ किया उसके साथ. That is one. Second thing is you will save a lot of cost here. वहां पे क्या होता है, some people may have watched for 3 seconds, बस क्लिक किया जानने के लिए कि क्या हो रहा है, they are the one who will drop off. But someone who has watched for 50 minutes, for 50 seconds let's say, वो अगर क्लिक करता है उसका ड्रॉप ऑफ होने का चांसेस कम है. So technically ROI wise you are saving a lot of cost in this campaign and not in the other campaign. Try it out. The moment you see that the ROI is getting lower, then that doesn't mean कि टेक्निक काम नहीं कर रहे हैं. That means कि वो वीडियो जो आपने बनाया है वो सही नहीं है. सिंपल सी बात है. अगर सारे के सारे मेट्रिक्स ठीक हैं, I can bet on this. If your video is high retention, if your video is very high in shares, very high in comments, there is no way retargeting करने पे वो ROI पे convert नहीं. That's with that I will end this particular part 1 before going to the part 2. And just remember always that acquisition with highest retention is the key, and not only acquisition. It doesn't make sense if your video has 3 million views of 3 seconds and only 50,000 people saw 50% of it. Doesn't make sense. Uska matlab hai ki you have made an irrelevant video. That's the whole context of this. If any questions regarding this before I move towards the second part, I'm happy to explain. I'll take 5-10 minutes. Harshit, what do you say?
Yeah, I think we can take few questions. There are a lot of people who have questions.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start taking. What if a video on YouTube is less than 30 seconds? Interesting question. What will happen is, in my opinion, you cannot upload a video. Simple. I have not seen 30 seconds के नीचे का video, so I cannot comment on this. This is a very technical question. I don't think I can answer this. You can try uploading and then see what happens. And ping me back on LinkedIn, by the way. I really want to know this answer. Disha is asking, what if the audience are forwarding and watching till the end? And I mean skip करके. Okay. It's okay. So if they are forwarding or sharing with someone else, you are getting shares. Absolutely fine. If audience is watching till the end but still skipping, then that means उनको बीच का part बुरा मतलब boring लग रहा है. So just see what is happening in that बीच का part. As I told you, generally people skip अगर long motion shot है, slow motion चल रहा है, लंबे time तक एक holding shot है, or title bars is coming in between. So it's your call as an editor that does that bother you or not. Vijay asks, attention span is low these days, so video has to be very appealing in the frame. Absolutely Vijay, as I told you, attention span low करवाने का बहुत बड़ा काम था TikTok का, being very very honest. And now since a lot of Indian apps have kicked into place, have come into the market, what is by default happening is it is actually lowering your attention span even lower. So the first 30 seconds and the first 10 seconds of your video plays a great role. अगर वहां पे आपने capture नहीं किया, उसके बाद कोई नहीं आएगा. Doesn't AIDA works as well? Aware, interest, desire, action. Absolutely. If you have studied advertising, ये same concept है. The only thing is these frameworks are not meant as a theoretical subject. आप same concept को लेके अगर आप apply करते हो practice में, it works. आप उसको जो भी बोल लो. Clinton asks, what if you already have achieved 100K or significant number of views? How do you adjust in this case? Interesting question, Clinton. In my understanding, your adjustment should start from the 100th view. 100 views मिल गया, that is a good enough sample size to understand कि क्या हो रहा है. Second sample size 500, third sample size 1000. Never wait 1000 views किया, मतलब अगर आपने 1 लाख view already कर दिया है ना, then you have wasted a lot of money, by the way. अगर waste करके, if you start thinking growth का plan उसके बाद, that's a wrong growth strategy. So growth strategy always starts with very crisp and a very small sample size, and then you scale. And I don't think you can undo अगर आपने वो achieve कर लिया. I don't think. Vijay asks, please explain how to optimize. Does it mean run a paid campaign with TG and demographic? Yes. When I say optimize, I mean running a paid campaign with TG and demographic. That's why I told you that if you are a good digital marketer, and I'm bolding and italicing this word, good digital marketer, ये वाला optimization आपको easily समझ में आ जाएगा. If you are a fresher, आपने कभी किया नहीं है, थोड़ी मुश्किल आपको होगी. So don't take it into ego. Maybe you will learn and learn and learn. Then आप better होते जाओगे उससे. Nimisha asks, retention also includes coming back to the platform. No? Yes, exactly. But that retention is app retention or a product retention. You have your website or you have your app. If people are coming back, that's retention for you, not for the video. कुछ हिंदी में समरी बता सकते हैं? ओके, मैं हिंदी में ये समरी में अगर बोलूं तो मैं 3 लाइनर एक बोल देता हूं एक बार. फर्स्ट इज वीडियोस इमोशंस को लेके चलते हैं. अगर आपका वीडियो कभी एक इमोशन इवोक नहीं कर सकता, देन वो वीडियो कभी वायरल नहीं जाएगा. सिंपल. सेकंड, वीडियोस शेयरेबिलिटी के ऊपर ही चलता है वायरलिटी. ज्यादा शेयर्स अगर होंगे तो आपको ज्यादा वायरल वीडियो मिलेंगे, व्हिच मींस आपको शेयर ज्यादा से ज्यादा लाने हैं. लास्ट थिंग, वीडियो एंड तक कोई अगर देखता है, दैट मींस उसके लिए वीडियो कॉन्टेक्चुअल है. अगर कोई एंड तक नहीं देखता है, देन उसके लिए वो वीडियो नहीं बना है. Yash Patra, creating relatable videos, are they based on what's trending currently, like YouTube and TikTok? That's a strategy, Yash, which is called topicality. If you are creating on trending videos, that's a different content strategy, which is called topicality. You can do that. Relatability कहीं से भी आ सकती है. Nostalgia को लेके आप खेल सकते हो और trending topics को लेके. So yes. How long should we typically run the video for post engagement? Part of process. Great question. It's a growth technique. सबके अलग अलग process हैं. Generally, what I do is 24 hours to 48 hours is good enough time to run an ad and then see कि क्या हो रहा है. Just because, see, videos on social media. By the way, मैंने एक चीज बोलना भूल गया. मुझे ये बोलना है. Social media का सबसे बड़ा priority factor algorithms का है recency. Simple. ये word को याद रख लो. Recency. अगर वीडियो 4 दिन पुराना हो गया, there is no way you can make it viral. 24 आवर्स में अगर वीडियो ने परफॉर्म नहीं किया, उसके बाद वो ड्रॉप डाउन ही होगा, कभी अप नहीं हो सकता. पहला. सेकंड थिंग, डज दैट मीन कि वीडियो अपलोड करते फटाफट ऐड चला? यस, एब्सोल्युटली यस. क्योंकि एज आई टोल्ड यू कि वीडियो अगर 24 आवर्स का टाइम विंडो खत्म कर गया, देन वो वीडियो का एड इज नॉट फॉर ऑप्टिमाइजिंग ऑर्गेनिक और एडिंग मल्टीप्लाई टू द ऑर्गेनिक. वो व्यू बाइंग मोड में चला जाएगा. उसका मतलब आप जितना वीडियो का व्यूज खरीदोगे, बस उतना ही दिखेगा. Extra organic reach nahi aayega. So I hope that answers your question. Okay.
I think we can. Do you want to kind of start and then
let me look for a question which is not repetitive. तो मैं एक लेके मैं I'll switch.
चलेगा.
And should I need to know my custom audience different video ads with CTA? That is up to you. That is up to you, I will say. वो सबका अलग अलग tactic है. There is no one logic for everyone. Please put some light on acquisition. Very different topic. Google please and start learning. Or maybe Harshit से बात कीजिए. I'm pretty sure they have some learnings around it and he may share. Does growth hacking means optimizing through platform algorithms as well? Yes, that's right. Platform algorithms, I will not share right now. Very different topic, very long topic. Please Google, आपको मिल जाएगा. I also have written a platform algorithm logic. Go to my LinkedIn. मेरे LinkedIn के प्रोफाइल में आपको पहला आर्टिकल दिख जाएगा. Sorry, 4th आर्टिकल आपको दिख जाएगा. थोड़ा ढूंढो मिल जाएगा. There is an article where I have compiled all the social media का algorithm in one place. आप वहाँ से पढ़ सकते हैं. Cool then. Thank you so much guys. Very interesting questions. Marketing 2.0 पे कुछ बताइए. Very different topic. ये actually marketing 2.0 है by the way.
Marketing 2.0 is yes.
Yes,
so guys, we'll quickly move to the second topic. फटाक से करते हैं. There will be Q&A guys, don't worry. उसके अलावा भी Facebook group की community है. जितने भी questions पूछोगे, that will be answered. Don't worry. Let's start.
I'm very happy. Everyone asking very specific questions, not generic questions. So I'm extremely happy. Thank you guys. Now we are gonna go a little funky, as the colors say. Very interesting topic to my heart. And a very interesting real life case study. इसमें आपको बहुत चीजें पता चलेंगी. What I have said in the past, in the part 1 of the experiment, of all the emotions that I talked about. There is something I developed जो आपको अभी दिख रहा होगा Dunzo में, and the push notification that you get from Dunzo. Sometimes I feel कि मैंने उस टाइम खुद का ब्रांडिंग उसको लेके क्यों नहीं की, तो मेरा थोड़ा बेटर होता. But I did something called as conversational push notifications when I was working with Paytm Insider. Basic concept, अगर आपने Paytm Insider पहले कभी यूज नहीं किया है, it is basically an app where you can book events. So all the events that you see, Martin Garrix का event अगर हुआ, Katy Perry OnePlus Festival, if you had to buy a ticket, you have to buy on Paytm Insider app, or Arijit Singh or anything or anyone. So I was working there. I was a part of this team called as interactive live game shows. That's what the team name was. And the team, what was doing is we were building something very very innovative, which was if live interaction में जो अभी चल रहा है, if you can interact with an artist or an event, अगर आप digital events consume कर सको, like for an example, मैं एक example दे रहा हूँ, there was a show which was open mic online. So 3 artists will come, they will perform their open mic, you can vote there itself, जो भी जीतेगा उसको वहीं पे इनाम मिलेगा. So that was the whole concept. And there was a show that was hosted by Rohan Joshi, which was a trivia show. So every week he will come and he will do this Bollywood trivia quiz. वो पूछेगा Bollywood के movies के around questions पूछेगा, and if you win, तो आपको tickets मिलेंगे, free के tickets मिलेंगे. That was the context. So I was promoting this. Now what happened, and this was the game shows that we were doing. थोड़ा बहुत posters डाल दिए. One day what happened, I was supposed to send a push notification that said this week in movies featuring Rohan Joshi is live now, tap to play. Live streaming चल रहा है, this is live by the way. तो आप कुछ गलत अगर कर रहे हो तो आप कुछ ठीक नहीं कर सकते. तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, रोहन जोशी के जगह मैंने लिख दिया था रोशन जोशी in the push notification campaign. मैंने भेज दिया है वो push notification. फिर क्या हुआ, मुझे पता भी नहीं है कि क्या हुआ है by the way. So after some time, I get a call from Rohan's manager saying, "What have you guys done? Why are people making fun of Rohan's name on Twitter?" So ये Twitter पे लोग screenshots लेके डालना चालू कर दिए थे उस time पे. By the way, the beauty of push notification campaign is you can't really undo the wrong things you have done inside the push notification campaign, because वो चला गया तो चला गया. Like I cannot send you a sorry push notification saying that, hey, पुराना वाला push notification को please ignore करो. So just letting you know. So what happened is I checked my Twitter handle after some time, and there were 200 jokes around the typo I have done, which was Rohan Joshi के जगह मैंने कर दिया था Roshan Joshi. And in that context, what happened is हमारा handle of Twitter saw the highest engagement rate in the history of our company that day, for wrong reason you may see. So I was silent at my desk. I thought I'm gonna get fired because of this particular reason, and I was thinking how to undo this thing so that my boss cannot screw me up and say something wrong to me. I came with this idea called as the Rohan Joshi typo campaign, because मैंने already typo कर दिया है. This is one of the screenshots जो रोहन ने खुद post किया. You can see Trojan Joshi is live now. So रोहन को उसने मतलब मैंने Trojan किया हुआ है. Now I'll be talking about this. End में I'll tell you how this is a growth hack to get how this is a growth hack where you are merging app marketing, converting that into social media marketing, then वो social media marketing virality में कैसे convert हो रहा है. तो ये पूरा growth का framework ये कैसे हुआ था, ये real life example. So what I did, the idea was I will make 4 typos of Rohan Joshi, which will possibly create a conversation on social media. Why 4? Simple concept. एक month में हर हफ्ता होता है उसका show. Once a week I will do when the show is live. Simple. 4. This is the typo I came up with. Week 1 Rogan Joshi, week 2 Mohan Joshi, week 3 Trojan Joshi, week 4 Jogan Joshi. Okay. Now there is a screenshot where someone shared it on, I guess शायद Insta है, that when notifications from apps in your phone makes you hungry. Now इसको ना थोड़ा अच्छे समझते हैं that what happened here. मैंने एक push notification भेजा, ठीक है. Have you ever seen generally लोग push notification देखते हैं and this मतलब the generic thing is you start swiping right or left जो भी होता है उसको close करने के लिए. If someone is clicking that picture, opening Instagram पे जाके share कर रहा है push notification को, that means उसने कुछ तो एक ऐसा एक emotion evoke किया है which is making that person share this particular thing. Remember I was talking about that particular emotion? Now this emotion is actually something, a humorous emotion added with contextuality. Rogan Joshi evokes Rogan Josh. Push notification गया है 1:30 को, lunch time. Hence, getting a story around saying hungry is very much contextual उस time पे. So ये तीन emotion एक time पे evoke हो रहा है, ठीक है. वरना there is nothing I have done nothing. Like मैंने लोगों को बोला नहीं है कि भाई मैं तुम्हें भेज रहा हूँ 1 लाख रुपए and go and post it on your shares. Like a lot of growth hackers also do that. But ये एक different kind of thing. Now what happened is our push notification का open rates. Open rates is if you click on a push notification received to push notification open is called open rates, jumped by 3%, and hundreds of tweets and Insta stories were made around this. This gave us an idea actually that we can create a product to social media engagement loop, and also it saved my job and मुझे थोड़ा appraisal भी मिल गया actually कुछ दिनों बाद. But the context that I'm trying to tell you is product का push notification always people think सामने वाले को click कैसे करवाया जाए. मैं क्लिक नहीं सोच रहा था बिकॉज मुझे पता था क्लिक तो मिल जाएगा. मैं सोच रहा था पुश नोटिफिकेशन से वायरलिटी कैसे लाया जाए, हेंस वो अवेयरनेस लाएगा एंड हेंस आई विल गेट मोर एंड मोर ब्रांड मेंशंस एंड हेंस आई विल गेट मोर एंड मोर एक्विजिशन एज वेल. तो मेरा केपीआईज ही कुछ अलग था उसको लेके. एंड वी स्टार्टेड अ कन्वर्सेशनल पुश नोटिफिकेशन कैंपेन दैट कुड क्रिएट यूजीसी उसको लेके. अच्छा यहाँ पे बात में आता. तो अभी यहाँ तक क्या हुआ बेसिकली that this campaign was a case study that where I can literally adapt this thing into multiple notions, into multiple future campaigns. Holi इसके कुछ time बाद Holi आ रही थी and I made this push notification saying first name of yours Sarthak. Sorry, Holi का रंग उतरा क्या? Question mark. And Sarthak actually posted this on Instagram story saying हाँ भाई उतर गया, तुम लोगों ने खेली होली. This is where you see there is brand to guy conversational relationship which is very difficult to crack if you go by the traditional marketing way. Now this is actually a growth hack also. Push notifications is also a growth hack. This is a copywriting growth hack merged with push notification. Just trying to also say कि copywriting भी एक बहुत strong growth hack है, which you see the adaptation that आपने अगर Dunzo install किया है अपने phone पे, you may have seen Dunzo sending you funny jokes. If you have installed Zomato in your app, you will see that they are doing this kind of thing as well, but in a very, very different way. Now, in this case, what happened is I combined personalization, which is the first name, Sarthak exclamation mark, with strong copywriting. Uske baad. Now, coming back to the older campaign, what happened is even after the campaign, campaign khatam ho gaya, people kept DMing Rohan. Now, people were asking, like on the left-hand side, if you see, people are asking what about Rahan. मतलब लोगों ने खुद के टाइपोस बनाने चालू कर दिए. रोहिणी, राहन, I have seen bizarre also. ना रोहन चढ़ गया था उसके बाद में. ना रोहन posted a post बहुत टाइम बाद जाके saying since the subject is in the limelight, I will not get any better chance to say this. It's Rohan, not Roshan, not Rizwan, not Rahul, not Rohit. वो लोग बहुत कुछ कर रहे थे उसको लेके. A very interesting thing what happened here before revealing. Let me ask in the chat, by the way. This is a digital campaign. Do you think a digital campaign as a growth hack can be converted into traditional offline marketing? कोई सोच रहा है yes या no में बोलना. And जो लोग भी yes बोलेंगे मैं उनको पूछूंगा कि how do you think कि आप एक digital marketing को convert करोगे offline marketing में without me spending a single money. T-shirts, but I'm spending money, right? Okay, interesting. Okay. So I'll reveal what happened actually here. This is some time मतलब कुछ दिनों बाद Rohan actually was going for a show, I guess कहाँ पे Bangalore में या कहीं पे शायद गया था. And there was a guy with the name plate जिसने लिख के रखा हुआ था रोशन जोशी उसको. And what happened here? मेरा कैंपेन खत्म हो गया है. लोगों को वो कैंपेन इतना मेमोरेबल है कि लोग जाके उसको ऑफलाइन में ले गए हैं where that particular guy is holding रोशन जोशी written and he is having. रोहन ने उसको पिक्चर लिया और उसको पोस्ट किया. मैंने पैसे नहीं दिए रोहन के. By the way, influencer campaigns cost you money per post. So इसको मैं अगर करता था ट्रेडिशनल वे में, so I have to give रोहन कि one post का maybe I don't know 1 lakh 2 lakhs जितना भी हो उसका. So he posted it. Now if you see on the left hand side, people actually remember कि ये चालू किसने किया था, Inspire.in. Now here is a trick. ये कैंपेन ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब ब्रांड से अलग चल रहा है, दैट लोगों को नहीं पता ये किसने स्टार्ट किया हुआ है. The idea is your campaign or the growth hack must be very closely related to the brand. नहीं तो कैंपेन अलग चल रहा होगा और आपका ब्रांड का कुछ मेंशन ही नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज मेरे को पैसा मिल रहे नहीं मिल रहे हैं कैंपेन के लिए अलग से चलने के लिए. लोगों को क्या फर्क पड़ता है रोशन जोशी अगर अलग से चल रहा है. You need to adapt it with the brand awareness, and that's how you can crack it. And the last takeaway from this, I hope you had other takeaways as well, is simpler is the campaign, wider is the reach. Actually, the more and more layers you add to your campaign or your growth hack experiments, it will never ever work. The simplistic you keep it, and those emotions, if you understand कि क्या emotion मुझे evoke करना है सामने वाले का, it will have a massive reach. So that's all I had to say. I'm open to questions. I hope you had great fun. I will stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, Sindhu, so much. Thank you so much for the valuable insights. So, guys, we are going to take questions in a while, but before that, we have a program, as I said in the initial at the beginning of the session. We have designed a program called. There are two programs that I'll be talking about. That is Growth Marketing Crash Course, and the second is Full Stack Digital Marketing Course for freshers. So I would request people who are already, are a part of NSDM, or there are so many growth hacking students that we have. Daman is a part of our institute. So people who are already our existing students can kind of leave. Also, people who do not want to listen about the program, because this is the program that we've recently launched, and as I said, we are the first one to launch growth hacking program in India. So in case you are interested to kind of listen, you can stay. Otherwise, whatever value that we had promised, we have already delivered, guys. So I'm gonna give you like 2-3 minutes. If you want to stay, you can. Otherwise, if you wish to know more about the program, then I'll be talking about it.